Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Film Analysis. In this episode we're going to be taking on, or focusing on, right, why do I say taking on? Focusing on the Lusi Ortiz Deontay Wilder fight that will be taking place on March the 3rd. And joining me for a very special collaboration of film analysis is my co-host, King Bucho. King, say hi to the people.
Hello people.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get this shit over.
First of all, it's not shit, it's a very good film analysis that we put together, and I think that people are gonna enjoy it. Okay, listen, before we begin, I gotta remind you guys that we do have a new channel called BDA Live, and that's where we're holding the live podcast from now on, so scamper over there, subscribe, like, and join the BDA family. We are expanding, so you gotta get over there, police, I can't forget to say please. So let's take a look at Lusi Ortiz. We're gonna begin by looking at his fight against Malik Scott, and the reason why we're looking at this fight is because Malik Scott really does resemble Deontay Wilder, physically. Long, rangy guy, except of course Deontay Wilder has better punching power and I would say better reflexes, but what he doesn't have is the schooling that Malik Scott has. Malik Scott has better technique. But again, that power and that athleticism goes to Deontay Wilder. Lusi Ortiz, on the other hand, well, you know what? We'll show you instead of talking. So let's get down to it. Alright, so before we start, this is the first round of the fight. And as you can see, Malik Scott, and he did this throughout most of the fight, just really moving around the ring, trying to frustrate Ortiz. Now, I think what what Malik Scott's plan was, just do this, move, frustrate Ortiz, lull him to sleep or sort of, hypnotize him, and then try to land one big punch. Sort of like what Roy Jones pointed out when Algieri fought Manny Pacquiao. It's a bad plan because he's not a big puncher, but it's the only plan he really has, you know what I mean? So that's what he tried doing in here. And you see there Malik Scott countering with the right hand, but
yeah,
if you see how Lusi Ortiz standard southpaw defense, like he'll throw the jab, and then before the right hand comes, he's always looking out for the right hand, as most southpaws are. He puts his left hand up to block it, chin down. Notice how tucked in his chin is, and so he doesn't get hit with anything really. And then Malik Scott immediately, that was his whole thing: move, pot shot, grab, pivot, regains the center of the ring, avoid any type of physical contact.
Looks like Mayweather style.
Yeah, but except, see, that's the thing, and we're gonna talk about this. Malik Scott showed good defense, but he's not showing good offense, which is the standard of boxing. You don't win fights just based on defense alone. And again, see here, you saw how this is Ortiz's one of his flaws: slow. He reaches in, Malik Scott right away moves away, and he's left just looking at the wind. Now, of course, this looks bad too because it's just a guy leaping from side to side and not punching from Malik Scott. But nevertheless, he did make Ortiz miss there. Again, see how Malik Scott is in his full-on defense mode. He throws a right, gets close, but look at Ortiz's feet. Too slow to really pivot again, and then he's left off balance. So that's the flaw of Ortiz, is he's got heavy feet. So if you can pivot around him.
Heavy feet, and I'm assuming because of his age.
That's right, and we've talked about it in the podcast. Some people are saying that he's not even 37. Some people say he's older than that.
BoxRec has him as 38.
38, okay. Some people claim he's 45.
I believe that.
Well, we don't have any proof, man. Alright, so here again, see how that's a slow motion version. See how off balance he is? And here he is. This is what he's gonna have to do against Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder, again, he's always cognizant of the fact that he doesn't have a good chin. So he's always jittery, always moving, always looking for a punch. So what do you do when you fight a guy like that? A, you feint a lot, and B, you go to the body, like so. And look at, he's smiling, Scott, and you know what that means, right?
Yeah, of course, good one.
Again, right hand, and this time Ortiz, look at how tucked in his chin is. Some people might say, well, he's not moving his head. He doesn't have to move his head, especially against a guy who's not really a puncher like Malik Scott, see that? And then Malik Scott
he's lunging in there.
Lunging in, and he's just looking to get away as fast as he can.
See, that was a bad move.
From Malik Scott?
Yeah, because he could have thrown the right and then come up with a second shot. But instead he lost the whole momentum there, because now he's just close the distance, and now look at him. He's holding him like a baby there.
And then again, yeah, it looks bad. And then again, he's too scared to open up because he knows that if he opens up, Ortiz is going to counter him. And we're gonna take a look at that later on. About how Ortiz is a good counter. See here, the thing is, he gets hit with a quick right hand. Now imagine if it's a Deontay Wilder right hand. But then again, I don't think Deontay Wilder, he's not like the clutch and grab type of guy.
No.
Alright, so here you see, again, Ortiz going to the body. And look at, this is when you realize, okay, good defense from Scott, but he's not in it to win it.
Exactly. Now you can see he's more focused on surviving or on his defensive skills.
Exactly, and it's only the third round. He's already, and look at this. He leaps back all the way, away from that left to the body. He plants his feet. He opens them wide so he can leap to the other side, to his right side. But look at this. He's leaning back, and remember, he's reacting to everything Ortiz does, and this is where the feints come in. So he's still leaning back. Then Ortiz, as soon as Scott is coming off the ropes, Ortiz feints, but Malik Scott is still leaning back. That's an unnatural position. So now he has to move, because again, he's too jittery. He's over anxious of anything that Ortiz does, but he's still leaning back. Now he's trying to move, and look at this. Off balance, see? So that looks bad with the judges too. Because the judges are saying, this guy's not punching back, he's just running, and not only is he running, but he's looking amateurish. And as we're going to see later on, Deontay Wilder looks amateurish sometimes, right? Or oftentimes when he's reacting to the feints. See here, this is what Ortiz has to do. Feint, feint, feint. But the problem is, what was the problem? You can only feint so much. Ortiz, another flaw is, he was looking for the perfect shot in this fight. You can't look for the perfect shot against a guy who's so jittery and on the defensive. You have to create your own openings and bang the body, bang anything you can. So here, see this? He's moving his hands. Feint 1. He steps back. Feint 2.
My God.
Feint 3, but he still hasn't thrown. And so
feint, 4 feints.
Yeah, and it's good to feint, but when you're feinting, you're not putting anything to it. So Malik Scott knows. Okay, see, it's another sort of. Now it's a jab, but he goes under and shoots a right hand. Look at the right hand. As you can see, it hit Ortiz's left arm, almost the elbow. So it didn't even hit his chin, but there was an opening there for him. And Ortiz is gonna have to be careful. Again, feint, very good. But then look at this. He wastes all of that by winging a shot. Why?
I mean, it looks like Ortiz is looking for the perfect shot, but just he has to take a chance and just throw that punch that he's waiting for. Because, I mean, look at now, it just looks bad because
he gets
nothing's happening for Luis Ortiz.
Every time he misses, Scott is just gonna slide off those ropes out of the corner. He should have thrown it better to the body. And then he did. Listen, Ortiz is a professional. He knows what he's doing. Let's take a look at some of the things he did. Okay, another thing here. See how he's reaching with the with the right hand, and then he tries to come in. Again, see, that's 2 little feints. He hasn't done anything yet, and so Malik Scott says, "All right, I won't take the bait," and he throws the right hand. And you have to be careful with those right hands, because look at Wilder. Yes, very wild, no pun intended, but then look at this, boom. He can counter, man. If you're coming in you're giving him too many openings, not throwing punches, he's gonna catch you and lay you down flat. But then, to Ortiz's credit, what does he do? He's got pretty good timing himself. He knows Malik Scott is just wants to throw the right hand. So look how he keeps him there with the right hand and lines him up for a left. Now, Malik Scott did a good job of trying to roll with it, but he got caught on the side of the head, and as we're gonna see later on, that can spell trouble. Look at this. Goes downstairs. Boom. This time it didn't forgive. So finally now Ortiz going to the body, because he knows he can't hit Scott that easily in the head. Now Malik Scott says, okay, I have to get him back. So he throws his right hand.
Lazy ass fucking
lazy. Very good point. Lazy ass. Ortiz just a couple of inches, and look at the right hand, like you said, lazy.
Back down.
Going back down, and so Ortiz says, thank you very much. Free shots. Boom. And he has heavy hands, Ortiz. That was just, again, Ortiz a little too slow on the trigger. Scott just slaps, as if he's about to slap, I should say, with the left, and it's a feint. But again, look at Ortiz's chin.
Tucked in.
He takes it on the forehead. Nothing to worry about too much. And he almost, he did throw the left hand.
It's a bit slow though. Luis Ortiz looks too slow to me. And
when was this fight again?
2016, November 2016.
2016, so it's almost a year and a half for the fight between him and Wilder. It's gonna have been a year and a half after. So you never know with a guy that's 45. I mean, he's 38, but some people say he's 45. It could be. And now this time, see, now that time he got hit. Malik Scott started, and by the way, we're showing you the best parts of Malik Scott as well. He only landed about maybe 10 punches the whole fight. So let's don't make this out to be as if he actually gave Ortiz a competitive fight. So he catches him with a right, but again, look at Ortiz looking down, chin tucked in, and Malik Scott stays there a little too long. Whack, gets whacked with a left hand. And here again, Ortiz keeping him in the corner and catches him. So see, work off Scott. See, Scott is just looking to defend, looking to counter with the right. So he's, see how many times Ortiz is feinting, and Malik Scott is moving all by himself. Ortiz is not wasting energy. It's all Malik Scott. So he covers up as if he's about to take a left hand, puts his right hand up, and so now he's in a position. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna throw a left hook. But Ortiz, he's watching everything, and see how he's covering him up with the right hand. So he sees everything himself. And look at Malik Scott. You can't really see it, but he drops his right hand, so he's not even protected. And Ortiz hits him with a nice short left. Surprised that he didn't go down, Scott. But that's Ortiz's pedigree here. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, he sets little traps.
There though, again, waited too much and he got caught with the right hand. And here you're going to see him again feinting too much. And Scott came in, but look at Ortiz's left hand. He's watching out, he's looking to cover up against the straight right, but instead it actually serves to block the left uppercut. So very good hand positioning from Luis Ortiz, well schooled. This is what he's gonna have to do. And when he gets Wilder in the corner, first of all, Wilder is gonna drive himself to the ropes, because he's always reacting to everything and very jittery. So once you get him on the ropes, now you mix in the punches, which is what Ortiz should have done in this fight since the beginning. He goes downstairs, he feints and he goes downstairs with the left. Little right hand to keep him in place. Little left hand just to distract him, and then whacks him with a right to the body. A little right hand again to keep him in place, and then a left uppercut. And here he could have thrown a 1-2 and then a right hook to the body. But Scott, he was too close. Scott was able to smother the work. But then again, you look at Ortiz is the one putting on his weight on Scott, so he's actually in the favorable position still. This is a beautiful move. This is something that he can do against Wilder. Look at this beautiful timing. He's watching for the right hand. Wham! Catches him right on the liver. Scott goes down. Here again, little trouble. See how many feints? Right there. He's too close. And he catches the right hand. But again, I don't think do you think he was too worried about Scott's power, or that this is one of the reasons why he allowed himself to get hit? I mean, not he didn't allow himself, but he got careless because he didn't respect Scott's power, or what is this?
I don't know. I think he's overthinking too much. Like he just needs to let his hands go a bit more. I mean, yeah, one feint and then throw a punch. Don't do like 4 feints in a row. That's just too much.
That's how Pacquiao got knocked out against Marcus.
Oh yeah,
it was feinting.
Like 3 feints, I think.
Yeah. Again, going to the body, and Ortiz goes, he laughs, but see, he's playing the clown, but the judges look at this guy going on the ropes, not throwing punches, just going on the defensive and making faces. They see who's doing the real work. And see this Ortiz setting up everything with feints, little shots, just tapping him.
See, it looks like Ortiz he wants to throw one big punch.
Exactly, still, even then.
There we go, one. That was slow.
He undid everything. All the good work he had done, undone, because of that wild left hand. But then again, see here again, counter left, and look, I mean, this is the body language from Scott of a guy who just doesn't want to be in there. He catches one shot to the body and he's like, whoops, I gotta run. Look at that, off balance, amateurish. And now, why are we including this? Because you saw how Scott threw the right hand, real quick. He throws the right hand and overreached, and Ortiz got him. Now, who overreaches more? That other than Deontay Wilder, not many people. Look at this. He puts a lot into his shots, so he can knock people out.
Balance.
But look at he could be hit with that left hand that we just saw from Ortiz, or he could be hit on the top of the head, because really Wilder should be pinning his chin on that left, on that right shoulder, I should say, in order to prevent getting countered. And then look at this, or here.
Oh wow, look at that.
And then he leans back.
Up and leans back. What the fuck
so
is
the
this?
body, or before that, he could be hit here upstairs. Now again, he's pretty quick, so it's you gotta catch him when the time with good timing. But it looks easier than it really is to hit Wilder. We'll see what Ortiz can do. And here again, Ortiz just playing around with his lead hand, feinting. Oh, there he got a left hook, and he has to watch out because you say that Wilder, he punches with his left hand. He's like a scorpion tail. Very dangerous, like a whip.
He whacks it, man.
Absolutely, man. And here you see again Ortiz with the feints, and he went upstairs with the left hand. He keeps Malik Scott there. Malik Scott looking down. He's just on the defensive, so finally Ortiz goes to the body. Boom. That's what he has to do. And again, did you see Scott shaking his head? What does that mean? He means it hurt him. And here again, just playing with the right hand, keeping his distance. Again, looking for the perfect shot, but at least he's keeping Scott busy. And then he landed the left hand, and he got caught a little bit with the left foot, but since Scott is really backing up,
it's like a slap, let's be honest.
Yeah, slap. But then again, Wilder
also down.
Now again, just to finish, we're gonna contrast that. Look at how jittery Wilder is. That's his whole defense, by the way. Wilder's defense is leaning back and putting his arms out, and it's very difficult to hit him because again, he's quick and he's a very long fighter. But see that can tire a guy out. And look at how off balance he is as well. So he jumps back. He in that lead leg goes back, but see how he stumbles, and he has to replant his feet and start all over again. That can tire a guy out. And look, you saw how Ortiz was chasing Scott around, not wasting a lot of energy, just trudging along. Meanwhile, Wilder is gonna be reacting to everything jittery. That can tire a guy out. Again, look at this, leaning back, and he goes all the way to the ropes. You see this?
Completely.
He's driving himself to the ropes. Ortiz doesn't have to work that hard. Just feint him and he's gonna go to the ropes. Again, leaning back, drives himself into the ropes. Now he's in the corner. But again, he's up against a guy, Gerald Washington, who's not that well schooled himself. And even when Wilder goes on the attack, he's leaning back scared. Look at this. First of all,
you can see the right guy. It's coming. Right?
It's coming, man.
A good boxer's gonna see it coming.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far everybody that's fought him has been unable to exploit it because Wilder, to his credit, throws it very, very quick.
And look at what's the other guy's name? I forgot. The football player. Yeah, Washington. He's not ready to take that right hand. Look at his left hand.
He's leaning back too.
And his left hand is low.
They're both leaning back. So who's gonna really counter?
You don't never lean back like that.
That's
You don't go. You can't go anywhere after that though.
Exactly. And look at Wilder. He's coming forward but leaning back. And now finally and again leaning back. I mean, yeah, leaning back and driving himself to the ropes. And look at
look at that.
And even Gerald Washington wasn't really committing because again, it looks easy for us sitting here and watching this in slow motion. But when you're in there against Wilder, the first thing a lot of these guys are thinking is, oh my god, I gotta be careful because of his power. I gotta be careful. So they're not willing to commit. Because see, Washington, first of all, not even good accuracy. He was like,
he didn't check the distance properly.
And he's throwing shots to the chest, which might be to try to pin Wilder down, stop him from moving. I don't know. See how much he reacts. Look at this. He reacts to everything. And Spilka with his movement was able to see.
Look at that.
Again, southpaw. And yes, Ortiz doesn't move as much as Spilka does. But look at Spilka is open too.
Yeah, but Wilder wasn't going to do anything in that position. Look at that.
And that's the thing. Wilder, the reason why he reacts like this is fear is a great motivator. Fear is what prevents you from getting hurt. And Wilder, the reason why he's so jittery and reacts to everything is because he's afraid he knows his chin isn't that good. That being said, the positive for him is that it makes him very hard to hit, even though technically he's not that proficient.
Also, his height is an advantage. He can just lean back like that and miss.
Because imagine if he was fighting Lennox Lewis.
No, yeah, that left hook is gonna land.
Exactly, or even one of the Klitschko's. Like he's getting away with it in part because of his height. And off balance, and he catches a little left to the body, and he stumbles backwards, and he has to reset his feet. See that?
Completely. Okay, reset.
And that makes you spend energy, man. Again, it's just real awkward. So that was another BDA Film Analysis special edition, joined by King Bucho. Now, Bucho, so what's your impressions? Let's go to the checklist. Ortiz has to feint, right?
Yes, not excessively, but he has to feint. We know that Wilder's very jittery. He reacts to everything that the opponent does. So feints are going to be a key in this fight, I believe, for Ortiz, obviously. Ortiz has to be a little bit more active, not overthink. He has to let those hands go for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And capitalize when Wilder is disorganized.
Absolutely. Also, another thing is he has to keep that chin tucked and those hands up, because if he got hit a couple of times, we saw against Malik Scott. If he gets hit that way by Deontay Wilder, it could be lights out. You never know. We don't know how good Ortiz's chin is. And the other thing for Ortiz is, again, simple, but go to the body. Like you said, tap, 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 boom, body shot. Tap, tap upstairs.
Vary the attacks.
Vary the attacks, absolutely. Don't look for that one perfect shot, like you said, and winging shots, because then you lose the momentum of yourself. So guys, that was another BDA Film Analysis. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to tell us in the comment section what we got wrong. We want to hear from you as well. Don't forget to check out BDA Live, the new channel. That's where we're holding the live podcast from now on. So go on over there and subscribe. So again, tell us what we got right, what we got wrong. Don't forget to like and subscribe this channel and BDA Live. And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care.
See ya.